Last video I spoke about Traian, how the skill effects were overlapping with Joan of Arc and Mulan, especially the part of the rage regeneration, but that opened another topic. I've already made a video on this channel, click the card up on the top to check it out, it was very popular, where I proved mathematically that the skill damage inflicts severely wounded units at a higher ratio compared to the normal attacks, so attacks and counterattacks. So debunking the belief that Attila was a killing machine because the normal attacks had more value in sending the enemy's troops to the hospital. Yes, Attila has a lot of value in that, but not for the reasons you think. We proved that the strength resides in having a constant output of increased attack and counterattack value, that during a battle it's going to result in those big hospital bills. Now you ask me, Wick, what's the value in the skill damage and how is that related to the attack buff? Let's discover it together. But before, don't forget to like and subscribe if you watch my content regularly, because, oh man, this type of video take a long time to make and a subscription is free and you can always change your mind later. Also, on our Discord, a talent tree section has just opened. Feel free to join our community using the link in the description down below and you will be able to download any talent tree you wish. I will see you there. Hello my friends and welcome back to another technical video. Today's topic is a bit tricky, so make sure you follow the entire video and I will try to be as clear as possible. Today I want to explain you a very important concept, which is the multiplicative buff. Buffs can land on two categories, multiplicative and additive. What does it mean? Let's assume this. If, let's say, starting from scratch, so nothing applied, you deal 1000 damage on your enemy each turn, after boosting your attack by 20%, you will deal, let's say, 1100 damage, so 100 more. Of course, basing on his defense, his health in that moment, the troop types you are using, and all that good stuff that you already know. On top of the 20% attack boost, we add a 10% all damage boost, like from VIP 17 or a commander's effect. The increase in the final damage output will be the 10% of your top damage, so 110, because 110 is 10% of 1100. The final damage will be therefore 1210. If you wanted to reach the same result just by boosting your attack, you had to increase the attack by another 22%, comparing to only 10% of the all damage boost category. Why is that? Because the attack is an additive bonus and it's always calculated off the base damage, which is 1000. So if you boost 20 percentage points in attack and reach 1100 damage, don't expect that with another 20% you will calculate the result basing yourself off the new 1100 damage, because it will still be related to the base damage of 1000. The multiplicative buffs, on the other side, it's something different. They will calculate the new damage off the final damage that has already been affected by all the statistical boosts. So after applying all of your equipments, all of your individual tokens, all the stat boosts granted by your commanders, etc. It just comes after in the game code. Now, which are the multiplicative boosts? Usually everything that has damage in the name. I'm speaking about skill damage, or normal attack damage, or even all damage like in the VIP 17 boost. That's so noticeable and that's why it's so powerful. But I said usually everything that has damage in the name. Why do you think many players went ham and crafted the Ring of Doom? Well, they read the description of the item and after reading it, they thought, oh, it must be great. If I deal 1000 damage, plus 50 or plus 65% if I'm lucky with the special talent, I'm gonna deal a ton of extra damage, like 1500 or 1650. But we did not expect that the ring was calculating that bonus damage off the base damage. Don't misunderstand this, it's still multiplicative, but it's probably calculated in another moment in the game for the final damage output result. Myself, reading the description of the Ring of Doom, even with the cooldown, so with an effective chance of about 7.14% to activate the effect of the ring, as I explained in this video, card up on the top, I thought, yeah, I really need to craft this item. And after watching the result with my very eyes, I immediately went for the dagger instead of the ring. Like, no brainer, I just went for the dagger, because in fact the ring, which is still decent by the way, it's boosting your damage by an average of 4 to 8% in the 2 seconds that it's active, basing on different factors. Now, on to the next step, the testing, because you know that I don't like to put my mouth on something that I cannot prove. So, to prove that the skill damage is a multiplicative boost, I have another test here for you. You know, I like to test in perfect conditions, so everything needs to be the same. So, same VIP level, same commanders with no talents applied, in this case we're using again Dragon Lancer, so no RNG is involved, random number generator, same tier and amount of troops, no city skin, same buffs, except this time I have Ottoman civilization and my friend Jaya here has Rome. Thanks to Jaya for joining me in this project. And we are using cavalry, so none of us is using a special unit, also because the special units are only tier 4s and tier 5s, even if we are going to use full tier 4 marches in this test as well, so watch it closely. So, if we have those two specific civilizations, what's the concrete difference between us? Well, easy, I have 5% more skill damage applied to my little ponies here, and he has not. The rest is all equal. I have 5% more archer health and he has 5% more infantry defense, but we don't care because we are using cavalry. What I expect to happen now, and in fact it did happen, is for us to have exactly the same damage output in the normal attack damage until I fire off the active skill. And dealing more damage to him, it's going to translate in our skill cycles to fall apart as well, because I've proved in my skill damage and normal attack damage video that if you deal more damage to your enemy, he's going to generate more rage in the same conditions. So it will likely be that we start together and we will end being not together. Watch this now. The battle begins. Same exact numbers for the normal attacks. I'm speaking of course about the white numbers on the top of the heads of our commanders. And now, on the first active skill fire-off, I'm dealing 21 damage plus another 21 for the additional damage from Dragon Lancer skills, and he's dealing only 20 damage. And 21 is exactly 20 plus 5%, which is the 5% skill damage, active skill damage bonus granted by the Ottoman civilization which I have. And you can also see that now he's accumulating the rage faster than me and he's consequently firing off the skills faster than I do, which is going to help. It's like a small compensation system that Rise of Kingdoms has for the battles, but I still end up winning, of course. The bottom line is that if I have something more than you, any compensation system cannot prevent you from losing. It's basic mathematics. But what about bigger numbers? You always test with T1, you can say, well, I do test with T1 because it's very convenient, but here you go, a full 210,000 tier 4 march. You can see, also in this case, the white numbers being exactly the same, so the normal attack damage. And now onto the red ones, the skill damage, 158 for him and 165 for me. And 165 is precisely, or almost, 158 plus 5%, it is actually 165.9, but the game eventually approximates this result to the lower non-decimal unit. If now I use a 5% attack boost, let's see how that affects my battle. Same 210,000 tier 4 units battling each other, we will analyze just the turn number 1, because any other turn is going to be affected, of course, by the gap that will be created in our unit count. You can see that the battle log shows that I dealt 445 damage with my attack, while Jaya dealt 434 damage with a difference of 11 points, which is an increment of barely 2.53% and not 5%. Of course, the result is going to be better with tier 5 units, and is also going to be better if you apply talents, etc. But the bottom line is that the multiplicative boost is always going to be a 5% and result as a 5%. That's why it's very powerful, because it's multiplicative and not additive. Of course, I'm not speaking about the value of using one over the other. That is food for thoughts and maybe for another video as well, and is based off multiple other factors, like the commanders you are using, the talents that are applied, and much more. Now I will give you just another little hint to close this video. In this battle here, I am using a 5% attack token and Jaya is using a 5% defense token. And in turn 1 and in turn 8, he's dealing 1 point damage more than me, so it's not equal. And why is that? Check the base points of the tier 4 generic cavalry and let me know in the comment section down below. I am honestly very curious to know what you guys think. I hope this video clarified the function of the multiplicative and additive bonuses, and if yes, do not forget to support me with a like, a comment, a subscription, whatever you want. If my videos don't convince you, come again next time and decide if I'm worth your click. Happy gaming! Ciao!